Hey, are you like me in that you're super lazy? Do you hate the monotony of having to unwrap your models for texturing? Do you wish there was an easier, faster way? Well, if you're making hard surface models, there might just be. So, for this, I'm using 3ds Max and V-Ray. Luckily for anyone using something other than 3D Studio Max, this should work for just about every renderer software combination out there. Okay, so you've got a model. Good for you. Let's go over the basics. The triplanar map is what I'll be using for most of this. It's a procedural map that takes a texture and projects it from 3 different directions. It smoothly blends at the corners and is really handy in that it also contains, at least in V-Ray, some randomization functions that will come in extremely handy. Make a triplanar map and assign a texture to it. Adjust the scale, and bam, you've got textures on your model. This can be significantly fancier though. Let's add some dirt in the corners. To do this, we'll do a V-Ray dirt map, which will also be called ambient occlusion in other packages. Set the width of the AO to be the width of the dirt in the corners, and then go ahead and use this to drive a blend between the triplanar map you just made and the color that most represents your opinion of yourself. Dirty. In the blend, we can use the curve to make the fall off sharper, and yeah, looking good. But it's way too regular. So let's go ahead and add in another triplanar. This time we're going to select a tiling noise that we made earlier, and we're going to throw in a bunch of random offsets like we talked about earlier. These will make it project from random angles, so there won't be obvious seams along with other materials or textures on your model. Make sure to set the random control to render instance ID. This is important so that things don't flicker around in animations. Now, all you got to do is connect that up to the width of the AO controller, and bam! Cool dirt in the corners. To continue along this path, you can add things like roughed up edges, and the procedure is exactly the same except for using a curvature map to drive it rather than an AO map. Cool! So, the best part of this is that you can now clone this object around, and each individual instance will have different texturing. No effort added to make new ones. Have fun with this, and definitely don't go overboard.